Mother, man.
Hey, motherfuckers, give me your keys. I'm fucking wasted. We're going on a road trip with Murder Metal Mayhem. Fuck yeah.
Spreading faster than a case of the clap in a trailer court. Able to shatter eardrums within a 666-mile radius. A podcast more brutal than all the rest. It's Murder Metal Mayhem! All right, wow. It is a Wednesday, and we're throwing down a brand new Murder Metal Mayhem here, a little bonus episode. That's right. And I am here in Horns High Studios for the Horns High Podcast Network, and we got this bonus going on. Chris is remote at his McCormick Studios in Bloomington, and Joey in the 419 in Toledo. So how's it going, guys?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. We just were recording last night, so it's like deja vu here doing this again tonight. Pulling extra duty here, trying to get Chris's remote system of recording down. We got a new setup, and so we're working that out, and we thought we'd do a cool bonus episode, something a little different. And so tonight we're going to be talking about driving under the influence, or DUI. Going to mix it up, and these are fun. Give us a chance to talk about something totally unique or different to us. And I thought this would be a fun one to discuss, what it's like for someone to go through this.
It sucks.
Yeah. And lately, I've been watching a ton of these body cam police videos for these DUI stops. Are fucking insane sometimes. And, it's a bonus episode, so we're not doing the usual murder and metal and mayhem segments and killer cage matches and karaoke. It's just one topic, and in this case, it's a shorter topic talking about DUIs. So, but we want to say thank you, though, always to you guys that listen. We appreciate it very much. It keeps spreading the word.
Yes, sir.
We're going to keep
awesome.
tearing it the fuck up every week. And make sure you check out that website, murdermetalmayhem.com. You can get info on what we're doing and where we're going to be if we're doing appearances, and, of course, the web store as well. So, all right, we're going to get into this one tonight, and we're talking about getting pulled over by the cops for a field sobriety test to see if you're impaired by alcohol or drugs. And, Chris, I mean, I didn't intentionally, no, I really did, because I knew this would be fun. But I have honestly been watching these body cam videos, and they're just wild. But here in Illinois, it's called the DUI, and back home in Connecticut, they were DWI, and watching those videos, they're all different. I've heard OWI, operating.
They're OVI here.
Really? Yeah, so they're
operating
different.
A vehicle impaired or some shit.
Yeah, it's weird. They just can't get it on one, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the DUI thing was weird for me when I first moved out here because it was so different. Subtly different, but different enough that it sounded funny. Now it seems normal. So, Chris, I mean, did you want to share your experience with this? I mean, we were kind of joking, but legit, like, you've been through it, and I know, you're usually fun with the self-deprecating stuff, but, feel free to tell us what you want to tell us.
It was interesting. First of all, just don't do it. Fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as Joey, I love drinking and driving.
That's the whole issue.
Dude, there were times you left here and I'm like, my fucking God, like, wow, and you were definitely good at it. But like you said, I mean, we're joking around, but guys, I mean, it's just not a good thing at all. It's unbelievably unsafe and very expensive. And as you're going to say, a lot of bullshit.
When I say I love it, I mean, when we would just go out in the country, just cruising out in the country, not bothering anybody, just slow speeds, we're not being reckless, just jamming music. We'd stop at the creek or the bridge somewhere and just hang out and drink a couple beers or whatever.
Right.
It's relaxing, honestly.
Right.
But my DUI that I just got the, because I've had two. I had one fucking 21 years ago as well. So
now, wasn't it you though that had the story of being on the hood of a car driving through the car? Was that you or Meister? I couldn't remember.
No, that was me and Michael after Michael got the fucking flat tire in his car. We're going out to a party.
I was like thinking of this funny Mayhem story. So you're saying that you're driving at safe speeds.
I wasn't driving that car.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But go ahead, please.
But yeah, it's another thing is don't have a. See, I had been drinking, but I wasn't like wasted or nothing like that. I was totally coherent. Don't have somebody with you that's super fucking inebriated that's just going to start yelling at the cops and not help out your fucking situation.
Yeah, that can't be good, man.
No, it's not good. But yeah, they following. Well, we left the gas station, and I had like subs going, fucking just jamming metal loud as shit, coming out of the gas station, and there just happened to be a cop there and just decided to follow me because of the loud music and just followed me and pulled me over because I said I crossed the white line where the stop sign is when I stopped, which I did. But
wow,
their word over mine, whatever. So
right,
yeah, they pulled me over, had me do the field sobriety test and shit, and they decided that I was not good shape, and which I guess in their part I wasn't, but
right.
It's not. It's literally not fun. You get fucking put in handcuffs, get put in the back of the cop car. You fucking go to jail. You get booked in, go through all this shit, and
right.
Spend a bunch of money to get out of jail, and it's not fun.
Yeah, and then the car really impounded and all of it.
Yeah, car impounded. That's more money you got to spend.
It's expensive.
It's not fun. It is very expensive.
Yeah, well, that's definitely because I've never been through that, thankfully, but I know that a lot of people I know, of course, have been through it. Now, Joey, since they don't have any tests that I know of that shows you're under the influence of marijuana. What do you know about the new? What's going on with that? Is that a closer reality, or is that far off?
I mean, there's always going to be an evolution of it, and they're going to figure out ways to do things and make money, especially with the legalization of cannabis and stuff. But
they're not actually able to do it yet, though.
Well, that's the thing is. Technically, there is no way to determine if the THC has been consumed within the hours of driving because it stays in your system so long.
Right.
And now, police can, however, do the field sobriety test for marijuana the same as they do alcohol.
Right.
And, I mean, they also, as you were saying, as it advances and becomes something new, something else that they've, also messed around with, but it's also still not a way to determine if a person is under the influence at the time, but is they were doing the saliva drug swabs out on the West Coast, and that's where they can swab your saliva and they can detect THC, crystal meth, methadone, cocaine, and several other prescription drugs. But it's the same issue as before, where it doesn't have, it doesn't tell you exactly when the person has it. Yeah, and they can't even test, like, I can't remember exactly what they call it. They test for a level of something in your system. Man, I can't remember what the fuck the word is now, but it's not like the marijuana in your system. It's the fucking metadones or some shit.
Wow.
And that's how they fucking figure it out. But I brought this. I looked this up just because I thought it was interesting. But here in Ohio, where we have the OVI, like we were just talking about,
right?
As far as marijuana, there's 4 types of marijuana, DUI or OVI, in Ohio. And I imagine this is probably somewhat the same in most other states. Obviously, I didn't want to look them all up. But so there's 4 types of charges that you can get for OVI for marijuana. 1, operating a vehicle under the influence of marijuana. 2, operating a vehicle with a prohibited concentration of marijuana. 3, operating a vehicle with a prohibited concentration of marijuana metabolite. That's the word I was looking for. And then 4, operate a vehicle with a prohibited concentration of marijuana metabolite and while under the influence. So
wow.
It's really shady. They're looking for ways to get it,
Right.
fucking set straight so that they can make the money like they do off the alcohol-related DUIs, I'm sure.
Right.
But it's just such a sketchy thing right now. But I feel like, from what I was looking up, that a lot of these cases, for somebody to be actually convicted of, usually you have to be in possession of the product, and that's usually the charge that's going to fucking stick more than the other one anyway.
Right.
And then B, I think it almost always has to be from the person's self-admission that they've partaken within the time or whatever it is, and usually it's just them popping themselves off because, as Pete said in the first place, they really can't test you for it and charge you with it.
Right. Interesting stuff. Yeah, I didn't know what the latest was on that, but a lot of the police body cam stuff I watch, it is interesting to see how the procedures are different, from one state to the next. And, they all do some form of that field sobriety test. And I guess, with there being no test to see, as we talked about it, that you're actually under the influence of drugs, these tests, as we've been saying, are designed to help them make that call if you're just impaired, whether it be pills, weed, alcohol, little of both, all three, whatever. And so that's what these are designed to do. But as I've watched a lot of this stuff, to me, it seems extremely gray, and it leaves a lot for the police to kind of make that judgment call. And I'm not saying that some of them probably have had a lot of training, maybe a lot of experience, but the human error factor and just
so much, and
there's so many variables, and you could fucking ruin somebody with some shit like this. I mean, this is like life-changing situation, as Chris, not being able to drive, it's fucking pain in the ass, man. You've been dealing with it,
Yeah, and honestly, they can. I'm not saying they're always wrong or whatever, but
no,
they can. They're the cops. They can say, "Oh, well, I saw this. This is my thoughts, so that's what's going to happen."
Right,
and you can't argue with them.
Right.
You can't. They're the cops. They're straight up like, nope. My decision is this. That's the lay down of the law right there.
Exactly.
Even if you're not.
Right.
Just like last night when we were recording the regular episode, that one Page a Day Cash was talking about dude planting shit.
Right.
It's the lay down of the law. The cops said that. That's what happened.
Exactly. Now, I read that most traffic accidents are actually caused by drivers under the influence of something. But, to me, I would argue that the distracted driver is probably a lot more prone to getting in an accident. I'm not saying that they don't happen, but I think the distracted driving is all day, all night going on,
Yeah, especially these days with everybody in their cell phone and shit.
Right.
I know there's laws against that too, but everybody, you're constantly seeing people on their phone driving.
Right, and I was surprised because I can't remember what article I read that in, but I was surprised because I would have thought that it would have been the distracted. But in Europe, I saw DUIs are one of the main causes of death for people aged 15 to 29 over there. So that's pretty crazy. But they don't, I don't think they have any age restrictions. So you got, people drinking at fucking 10, or whatever. And so they have a much different way they look at alcohol than we do here in the States.
Plus, they're getting fucking all wasted and driving on the wrong side of the goddamn road.
Now, our listeners from Europe, please forgive us, but So, Chris, the standard in most states, though, is the .08, right?
Yeah, .08. There's other states that go from fucking that's the standard, but then you can get fucking other charges and shit depending on your alcohol limit.
Right.
Aggravated fucking, especially if you're way over and you kill somebody in an accident.
Yeah.
You're gonna get fucking vehicular homicide, all kinds of fucked up charges.
Right.
And shit. But You can go point 12, point 12, point 2, which point 2 is pretty. I mean, point 08 is low compared to point 2. That's super low.
That's over twice. So yeah, that's definitely dangerous. But Chris, why doesn't everybody have one of those little breathalyzers like Jim Leahy on the Trailer Park Boys?
Because honestly, when you get pulled, I get it. That's cool. You can check your fucking BAC with one of those. But when you do get pulled over and they take you in to get a DUI. Even if you blow on the side of the road, they make you blow again when you get to jail.
Right. Because that's the real one. The one out in the field is the test or whatever they call it.
Right, because you could have just finished a beer and blew that.
Right.
And it's going to blow up because it's fresh in your mouth, in your whatever.
Right.
But if you're sitting there for 20 minutes, half hour, and then you do it and it's the same or higher, then they're like, yeah, you've been consuming quite a lot.
Right.
And that's what happens. It's just not good.
Yeah. Now, at the Nation, Chris, is there some sort of like Hall of Fame of highest blood alcohol content?
I'm gonna guess Derek Cashman has a video of it.
I didn't know
pretty good.
If that would be you or Michael.
Or no, was that you that took the video? Or?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, yeah.
Now, for a Shawback, Chris, is it you or Michael that would probably have had the Shawback record?
I'm going to go with a tie.
A tie, okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Okay,
I'm
all right, fair enough. Fair enough.
Remember
not Adam at all, though. Adam.
No, Adam doesn't drink.
He's pretty normal, yeah.
Remember at the fucking bars back in the day, they used to have like those,
the
like those fucking the gimmick breathalyzers
right.
or whatever. Motherfuckers be fucking doing that shit. Yeah,
we make it a contest, not to fucking try and save ourselves. It's a contest.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be the drunkest motherfucker.
Exactly. Now, Joey, if someone's busted, as we've been saying, I mean, the fines can get crazy. You got the lawyers and all of that shit.
Yeah, man, it's fucking. It's not just a money game. I mean, it is a dangerous fucking thing, but
right.
DUIs is fucking big money. Like you said, from the lawyers to all the cases that are prosecuted, to the people that are in jail, the motherfuckers that get out and do it again. I mean, repeat offenders for drinking and driving is just crazy. Like, it's like 3 times and you're fucking done. You're going to go to prison.
Is that what it is? It's 3 times and you go to prison?
I don't know if it's that because it's so crazy. It's plea deals and it's individuals. I don't know what it is, but
right.
I mean, you have to have known too growing up. Like there was some people I knew and it seemed like they got like a DUI or 2, and man, they got fucked over really. Like Chris has only had 2, but lost his license for a really time. I knew other motherfuckers. I swear have 4, 5, 6 DUIs.
Wow.
And still somehow I don't know fucking. Out, yeah. So I think money talks.
Right.
I think lawyers are a big part. Exactly, yeah. But any way you look at it, it's going to be expensive. It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
I can't believe. I'm very surprised, and I'm just lucky that I never got a DUI growing up, and I fucking. Under the influence both times set 2 vehicles on fire and somehow did not fucking catch a DUI out of either one of those. And one of them I was underage too. And that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
I don't know, like I don't know the pain of having to go through it like Chris does, because like you said, he got 2 of them. So fucking, I know it's expensive, I know it sucks, but whew.
Yeah, same here. I never got in any trouble, but I never was a big drinker, but I definitely had times where I did drink, but it's
and you know how we were talking how the limit is .08, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking the first one that I got 21 years ago or whatever, I literally blew a .081.
Oh my god!
That's bullshit.
Yeah,
wow.
.081 is what I blew, and that fucking gave me a deal. And this last one that I just got, I blew a .084, I think it was. So it was like right there on the just enough to where they could fucking give it to me. It's just like, you guys gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, that sucks, dude. Now the U.S. Highway Traffic Safety Administration actually started looking at this whole drunk driving issue in 1975. I'm kind of wondering what the fuck happened before that, but I know personally when I started driving 1983, so yeah, I'm fucking old. If a kid got pulled over with alcohol, they basically just made you pour it out on the side of the road,
drive your ass home,
and
get
sent
home, boy.
you fucking home.
Yep.
And there were cases of people getting busted, but you're talking about like extreme situations, accidents, people getting really hurt or killed, or somebody like ridiculously drunk, like cannot be driving.
Yeah.
I had a friend that got busted literally right before he turned into his driveway. The cop lit him up and he pulled over and got him for a DWI right there at the fucking base of his driveway.
That's basically what happened with my last one. I was just getting ready to turn into where I was going and fucking lit me up.
Man.
I'm fucking right here, dude. Are you serious?
That sucks. That sucks.
Ironically, I was heading to a bar, but
yeah. And this friend of mine, I used to play in a band with him, and he was a fantastic guitar player, but a really bad alcoholic. And he ended up dying of liver failure in college. He was going for music, so really sad story. But tests were established that the police can actually see if somebody was impaired. So it started then, and then by 1981, they said that the tests became kind of more the same, similar, state to state, very similar throughout the country. Now, Chris, there are a variety of these field sobriety tests we were talking about, and I thought some of them with the letter of the alphabet, and then they have to say it from like D to, P,
L or whatever,
and not sing it, because most people, of course, think of the song.
A, B, C, D, you can't do that. That's legit. Those recite the alphabet without singing it. They did that to me. Recite the alphabet without singing, so you got to be like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and like you said, to a certain letter of the alphabet. And if you don't stop there, they count that against you.
Exactly. You didn't follow directions.
You didn't follow directions. You forgot what letter.
Yeah, because you're impaired, right? Because they're thinking you're impaired. Now,
so you have to stop at that letter.
Yeah.
Or the same as numbers.
Yeah, the numbers one, I see a lot of people fuck up because they're like, start at 72 and count backwards to 56. And the person's like, sometimes they're fine, and then other times you could tell they're fucked up, so they're struggling with it. You know what I mean? So I could kind of see where some of these tests would make that an obvious thing. But I also know that some people maybe have terrible memories, So, I mean, that's a tough one because I think there's other factors that could throw it off. But I know they're just trying to get people off the road that really shouldn't be fucking driving. Like we've been saying, we're goofing around, but I mean, just don't fucking do it, And I know that used to be a thing that the police would make you do the alphabet backwards, but I think that was all bogus.
Was real.
Yeah.
But you can be like Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, R, S. You can do it.
Oh yeah, there's that Reno 911 video on YouTube of a guy doing it and sings it backwards and shit. It's fucking hilarious.
No, wait, with what's her name? And she makes him do the whole dance or whatever.
Yeah.
She does that one move, and he's like, "I can't do that.
I'm just drunk."
Like, oh.
Yeah, I used to show that in my classes. Actually, it was funny.
Yeah, that shit's funny.
So that seemed to be just more of a old wives' tale type thing. And Joey, I seen them doing a thing where you have to touch like your thumb to each of your fingers and count. Did you see that?
Yes.
That's kind of tough to do, really, for some people.
Some of the things that they have are just tough for some people, and
in general,
and like there's, like you said, there's a lot of variables. I mean, but there's also like physical issues, like people that have like you got neuropathy in your foot.
Yeah, I could.
You're not going to be able to do the toe to fucking heel that well.
Not really. No, I mean.
And now, of course, there's accountability with the body cams, which is definitely helpful. But man, I've seen some before where they just treated people like shit, and it's like, man, that person cannot do what you're trying to get. It's not because they're fucked up; it's because they fucking
physically can't fucking do it.
Well, what kills me is the cop asks them, "Do you have anything that would impair?" And the person says, like, I just had eye surgery, or I broke my leg last week and it hurts, you know, and they're like, okay, well, we'll just try it anyway, and I'll take that into consideration. It's like, no, like I'm telling you, I can't do this, you know.
I physically can't.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they even ask if they're just going to tell you to fucking do it anyway. It just, again, going back to that ambiguity thing. I mean, I'm not saying that these cops are out there trying to bust people they shouldn't be. I'm just saying when somebody's livelihood is on the line and it's life-changing situation of a DUI, some people automatically get fired. I mean, it's a big fucking deal. It needs to be a little bit, to me, a little bit more scientific and less gray area, you know?
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. My dad, I mean, he's not driving a truck anymore, at least at the moment, but if my dad was to get pulled over and they gave him breathalyzer, a truck driver, since they're licensed as a cross-country shit, like my dad is not, since he's got a CDL, it's not .08, it's .04.
Wow.
So, like, that's kind of fucked.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you're obviously driving a heck of a lot bigger vehicle, and
I know, but that's just even like when he's not working in his personal vehicles. Just because he has a CDL.
I see.
In his personal vehicle, it's .04.
Oh, wow, I didn't realize that. Yeah, that does seem a little restrictive for sure. Now, most of these cops do the test where the driver follows their finger with their eyes, which is kind of weird. But that's called the horizontal gaze test, and it's supposed to show irregular eye movement as your eye moves back and forth. It twitches, and that's how they can tell.
Back and forth.
Yeah, so that's how they know. And, you know, I've seen them do this, you know, pretty much every time. And then there's that walk and turn, which we were talking about. You take 9 heel-to-toe steps on a line, and then you turn around and do it the other way. I've seen people like do it backwards, you know. They go forward and then they do it backwards, and obviously they would get dinged for not following the directions, you know. And this one just seems to fuck them up. They're not counting out loud, or they count to, you know, go past 9 and they get to like 15 and realize they did too many. There's just like one thing after another. And I actually saw a guy do the moonwalk and then fall and bust his ass. That was fucking hilarious. So,
can only imagine.
Yeah, totally ridiculous. And then Chris, there's that one leg stand. That one.
Yeah, that's a motherfucker.
That looks like fun. I couldn't do that.
Like I can't do it whether I'm drinking or not. Like, you stand there, and you got to stand there with one foot with the other one, like your knees straight out, like. And I don't know what the fucking angle is, but it's up off the ground,
your
like
toe
6
pointed
inches.
out, 6 inches up
toe
off the ground.
pointed up, 6 inches off the ground, and you stand there and you count 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, until the cops tell you to stop, and they basically make you stand there and count until you fail. Like,
they stopwatch it, and I'm not sure how many seconds it's supposed to go, but I've seen them go up to 20 or even 25, and I'm like, God damn, you know. I mean,
no, people can't do that. I mean, yes, there are people that can, but normal people can't.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to see a study of just picking people out of a crowd and doing the field sobriety and then doing the real breathalyzer to see how many of those people fail the field sobriety and blow a fucking zero. I would love to know that, because I think, I mean, I don't know. I always thought I should have been a lawyer, and I look at this from that standpoint, and I'm thinking, you could fucking desecrate this thing in a courtroom. There's just too many variables. I don't understand it, but I mean, obviously the police know these laws and they prosecute people for it, but to me it just seems like it's so riddled with it that I don't know how these fly. I honestly don't.
But they're trained to understand how these fucking tests work, just the same way they're trained not to shoot unarmed citizens.
Right. That's right. Yeah, exactly. And I'm not anti-police. My dad
either. I mean,
my dad was in that. He wasn't a cop, but he was a parole officer. And, you know, so I got no problem. I know there are some rogue fucking cops, and that's shitty as fuck, and they deserve whatever, you know, the legal system can throw at them. But by and large, they're good people, and, you know, we know they're just trying to do a job. And it's a difficult one because I can't fucking believe the way people talk to these fucking cops. I mean, some of these videos, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, the guy comes up to the car and says, "Can I see your license and registration?" And they're like, fuck you. Or they keep the window up and they're giving him the finger. And I'm like, seriously? Like, where the fuck did you learn that? Like, that's fucking ridiculous, you know? So
especially if you're 100%. Especially if you're 100% innocent on everything, the people that do this and they're recording it, they're looking for the fucking clicks.
Yeah, those are auditors. They're fucking out to catch up government people and cops and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Fucking up in their job, and yeah, that's all they do is just fucking pester them, and they're fucking always some kind of fucking shiesty ass fucking piece of shit dude too. You know?
That's bogus. And I wonder, guys, if we should do some sort of breathalyzer as part of the podcast. Chris, do you think we should do that to see? I mean, because you're not driving, so I guess, you know.
No, I ain't driving. I mean, we could totally see. I'll just do my normal thing. Just grab a little breathalyzer. And
just see the difference.
The end of the podcast.
We'll do like a raffle. We'll do like a raffle. People have to guess Chris's. There you go.
My BAC before and after.
I got this right here.
There you go, Joey.
Nice.
There you go.
The at home marijuana drug test, so we could take this after a show and fucking see if we're all high.
So yeah, I just thought could see like one on the door, so you gotta blow into it before you leave Horns High. But I seen some states. We talked about that preliminary breath test on the road, but a lot of them don't do that. They just do the actual one back at the police station.
Because it gives them the time for the alcohol to actually soak into your system.
Right. Yeah. Right.
If they're got a fucking a roadblock sitting fucking 2 blocks from the bar and they get you at that, like I said, it's if you had just had a drink right before you left, it's going to show up because it's right there in your saliva glands, everything. Right. And that's as like we were talking earlier, the ones they used to have at the bars. Like if you fucking do a shot of Jack Daniels and instantly hit that thing, your fucking alcohol level is high as shit because the alcohol is right there. Right. If you let it sit a while, we'll see what happens.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it's definitely interesting topic for sure. And Joey, I mean, what legally, I've always heard like you shouldn't do the sobriety test, but obviously if you refuse it, you just lose your license automatically for a year. So what is do you know of like what you're supposed to do? Like what do the lawyers say?
Don't drink and drive.
Right.
I mean that's
right. But I mean
that's all you could do because exactly like you said, they're going to ask you, can we do these tests? And you have every constitutional right to deny them. Right. But then right there, whenever you get your license, you agree to operate the vehicle not under the influence of anything. Like that's something that you basically sign off whenever you get a license in any state. Right. So. Right. It sucks because you have to agree to the test, or they will just take your license for a year. Like,
right. I just wondered if the lawyer thought if you refused it and they just took your license, then if you went to court, there's no actual proof you were drunk. I don't know. That's why I was curious.
I don't know how that would work, but I just know that it's almost a catch-22, and they've got it set up so they can fucking basically lock in every person they need to one way or the other. I mean, obviously in any situation, if you have a lawyer, it's going to be better. Right. But who's going to have a lawyer sitting there while you're fucking driving and drinking?
Right.
Exactly.
if you don't have the alcohol in your system or whatever, and you're doing it, kind of like you said, Pete, like some of these auditors or some of these people are just out to fuck the cops, and they just really are like, no, because I feel like you're violating my rights, and you don't have probable cause to think that I have alcohol in my system, so fuck you. And they're willing to take a night in jail so they can get a lawyer and start a whole thing about it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I feel like most people, if they deny the breathalyzer or anything like that, it's probably because they have alcohol in their system, and
Right.
that sucks. But
Yeah, I mean, one thing a lawyer would always tell you, not just in a DUI stop, but just anywhere, is shut the fuck up. I mean, don't talk
Right,
to them.
yeah.
When you have the right to remain silent, you should just say, I want a lawyer. And once you say that, then the questions stop. But that would probably be a good idea, to not be fucking belligerent, fucking uncooperative, and acting all fucking riled up. If you're even the bit smelling like alcohol, that's just going to make it that much fucking worse,
And like we said, not everybody has the fucking means to have a fucking lawyer on retainer constantly.
Right.
yeah.
Right. No, that's true, dude. That's true. And Chris, I mean, based on your experience, is there anything like the better way to go legally with this thing?
In my personal experience on this, I really wish that I had not blown, because they would have taken my license for a year, but I would have got it back after a year. I wouldn't be going on 3.5 or whatever years it is now without a license.
Right.
I would have got it back within a year. I wish I had not blown, because I didn't blow in the field. I did at the police station though, so that gave it more time for whatever I had
Right.
to fucking go into my system. And I wish I had not, because like I said, it would have been gone for a year. I would have got it back. Now I'm dealing with all this shit. Now I got to go through all these fucking classes still and everything. And it's
That's interesting.
based on my experience. Don't fucking drink and drive and fucking have your goddamn stereo system that you can hear it 3 blocks away while you're rolling through town.
Right.
Fucking.
Begging to get pulled over. Right. Begging to get pulled over. I also read that the DUI checkpoints that have been found to be in some states illegal, there were quite a few of them, but of course not Illinois, so they are legal here.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve, you see them, stuff like that, big events, that sort of thing. But it is important to know that the field sobriety tests are not pass or fail. It is just the cop doing it to conduct an investigation to see if there's
his decision.
is his decision or her decision
Her
to see
yeah.
if you're impaired or not. And like I said, it seems very murky to me, and I could see where lawyers could really pick it apart, especially if a person has any kind of health issues that would have caused them to have balance issues or memory issues or whatever. And they do ask, do you have any health issues? And a lot of them I've seen where they just, like I said, just do it anyway. There were a couple that said, okay, well, because of this, I think a woman had a knee brace on. The cop was like, well, we're not going to be able to do the walk and turn or the...
Right, it'd be like asking you to do it with your fucking brace.
Right.
Like, there's no fucking possible way in the goddamn world.
Right, so then the problem is, then his or her decision has to be based on a more limited number of things that I could physically do. Whereas when you're doing all of them, it's kind of spread over the course of all of them. So I don't know which is, it's like 6 in one, half a dozen the other. More chances for them to make you slip up, maybe with more things you got to do. I don't know, but it's, just a very gray area to me. Now, Joey, the police have looked at other issues, like if they smell alcohol or marijuana, do your eyes look glassy, that sort of thing as well.
Yeah, there's a bunch of telltale things that a person can give away, like if they're tweaking on meth or high on cocaine and their pupils are super dilated, or
super out on fucking heroin.
Yeah, can't find their driver's license, fumbling around looking for shit. I see them
Isn't
all.
it on the back of the car?
Yeah, I've seen them all. It's pretty fun. It's amazing, too, how many people they pull over that don't have their license on them. I'm like, seriously? Like, I can't even think of of a time where I was out driving without my license. Like, I don't even understand that. I've always got my wallet.
I've done it before on accident because I've shown up somewhere and went to go grab my wallet.
Oh,
and be like,
shit.
Fuck, I left it on the fucking
shit.
or whatever. But
I'm just
never
real weird about my
intentionally do I go
wallet,
out, but-
so I always have it. So it's if I'm leaving somewhere, it's always on me.
I
And
smoke
here's the
too
thing-
much
here's
weed
the
and
thing.
forget.
Here's the thing, too, Pete. Like you were saying, if they say they smell alcohol or smell weed or whatever, instantly we're going to run the dog around the car. And they fucking... I have seen videos of how they can have the dog just like...
Yeah.
It's they say the dog's trained to do it, but if you watch the cops take the dog around the car, like, come on, right here, like they know how they have these dogs trained literally.
Right.
Like they can make it look like the dog hits on something, even if you don't have something.
Because if it
They can
hits
make
on something, then you got the right to search the vehicle, right?
It was searched the whole.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Yeah, again, I'm not trying to make the accusation, but I see your point, though. I definitely see that it could be abused because I've seen them in Arkansas, a bunch of the videos I've watched in Arkansas where they pull them over for having too much money.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy had like 250,000 in cash in like bundles.
I saw that one.
And they're like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? He had some ridiculous fucking scam of some company claimed he worked for that liked to deal in cat. Like, yeah, it was shady as fuck, and the cops knew it, but they couldn't really prove anything, you know. So it's very interesting to see. So the dogs are used for a lot of different things. It just that was kind of neat. But I did see though in Illinois they passed a law this year that they cannot pull you over just for the smell of weed. So.
No, yeah, they can't do shit because like it's legal now. Like,
right, but I mean, you know, I know you're not supposed to do it in the vehicle driving around like that, but
but you're still
that can't be the reason they pull you over. So
right, because that could be on your clothes, that could be on anything.
Right.
So the probable cause shit's bullshit.
Cashman could have just been rolling through here,
Yeah.
fucking all crazy.
They definitely use that for fucking many, many, many years.
Oh yeah,
though.
for sure.
I remember when me and Meister were fucking still teenagers, we were smoking weed and shit. Fucking, we was in his upstairs bedroom and shit, and we were smoking weed, and we found fucking marijuana scented incense. That way, his mom would be like, "You guys smoking weed?" He's like, "No, Ma, it's just this incense." The incense didn't smell anything like
That's
weed.
hilarious.
Right?
That's hilarious.
What about sweet pussy?
Sweet pussy.
Now, depending on the state, as we were saying earlier, the cops usually tow the car, so you got that whole situation impounded. So that's just add more to this whole fucking situation. And I've seen plenty of them, you know, with cops getting pulled over, politicians, lawyers.
Right.
They're usually the ones doing the, you know, give me a break, man. Just, you know.
Like, come on, do you know who I am?
Yeah, or just let me get a ride home and, you know, let's not do this, you know. And it's like, you're on the body cam. I can't do it, you know. And it's fucked up. I mean, it really is. But the
And I'm sure that
accountability
happened.
is good, you know.
Yeah, and I'm sure that happened a lot. Like they'd actually.
Oh,
be like,
hell yeah.
Okay, I know. who
Yeah,
you
you're
are.
a cop
Okay.
in the, you know, next county. Yeah.
Dude,
Go ahead, buddy.
I literally just saw one like a week or so ago. This fucking dude's ripping down the road like fucking 100 and some miles an hour, and this fucking cop starts chasing him and shit. Fucking chasing for a minute. Finally, dude pulls over. Dude was fucking drunker than shit in his unmarked police vehicle, fucking drunk. Like, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a cop too. And like, they're like, yeah, but you're pretty fucked right now.
Right.
Dude. What the fuck are you even thinking, dude?
Yeah, I saw one with a guy in a civilian car pulling people over and shit, like acting like he was a cop. And he wasn't. And he was like in a uniform. It said sheriff on it. And they were like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I work at this jail. It was like in another state. And they're like, you wear all that stuff when you're not at work, you know? And it was shady. And they wound up, you know, fucking, yeah, he was busted. So yeah, that's just this stuff just cracks me up. Now, I did mention, about the whole cops getting treated like shit, and that's just not right. I mean, like I said, I know there's some cops that have done some stupid shit, but my God, that's not the reason to fucking treat them like shit at all, because most of them are, going to do it legit. So,
and like, it's just fucked up. Like, people get themselves into more trouble than they need to be because they're so worried about a DUI. Just like, they go take off running. Okay, now you're fucking catching more fucking charges.
Shit, yeah.
Just take the fucking DUI, right. Fucking deal with it. Don't try to fight the cop. Yeah, Cashman, don't try to fight the fucking cops, bro.
Yeah, don't do that. That'll follow you.
No, I agree, man. I agree. You don't want to, make it that much worse because you're not going to get away. I mean, you're just not, It's so rare that somebody actually gets away like that. Anything to add to this one, guys? I was surprised this one went, we're about 45 minutes right now. So yeah, I thought we did it pretty well, but anything to add to the conversation?
I'm just gonna say, don't do what I do. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, definitely don't drink and drive. That's just stupid. It's just not worth it, man. It's just not.
Okay, real quick. Did we tell the story of fucking Trick or Troll on Mayhem one day?
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Well, just a recap for anybody who may not have heard it. We was at Trick or Troll, this fucking festival our homies did, and I left to go get my goddamn car. This is when I still had a license. Went to go get my fucking Durango out of the parking garage, got lost, and ended up having a cop find me bleeding out of my face. Bleeding out of my face from the show, slamming it off the wall during the pit. And this cop's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "That's just Halloween shit, dude." But it was real blood.
Wow.
And I told him I had to go find this bar where my brother and my homies are at. And he's like, "Well, just follow me." And I followed this cop straight back to the motherfucking bar.
Damn. Police escort, man.
He led my drunk ass back to the bar. I jumped out of that motherfucking car. I threw Cashman the keys, who didn't have a license at the time. I was like, "I'm done fucking driving." Like, fuck that. Don't drink and drive.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. It really isn't. So, and that goes for other intoxicants, right?
Two things I'll add to the conversation that I thought was pretty funny is one is so I had a friend down in Texas and I would take his car to work every now and then. I would borrow it. The thing was, he had a breathalyzer machine in his car.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking rough. Those are hard. Like, you have to maintain a steady blow for 30 seconds. And that shit, I mean, I didn't even drink. And fucking, it was almost impossible for me to do that shit sometimes. And if you fucked up, like, 3 times or whatever, then it dinged. And so he would the cops would ask him,
flagged,
so like, you get flagged. It's like, oh my God. So that's another reason. Don't get DUI and get the breathalyzer thing in your car because you got to pay for it every month, and it's fucking bogus as shit. Yeah. And then the other thing about DUIs that I thought was cool is different over here in Ohio, maybe some other states too, but they have what they call party plates over here in Ohio. I had never heard of that until Stephanie said something about it, but if you have a DUI, when you get your license back and you're able to drive, you get certain plates to show that you had a DUI. So, like, cops and everybody know, so they call them party plates. Be like, "Oh, that motherfucker's a drunk driver. He got party plates." So,
that's fucked up.
Damn. Yeah. That's bogus as shit, man. Damn. That sucks.
Dude, another thing about those fucking, the Babe machine, the breathalyzer machine in the car, like, they will, if you're cruising on the highway and shit, they will randomly go off.
They will, yeah.
You gotta stop the vehicle, and you gotta breathe in that thing for the fucking vehicle to fucking, like, to make sure you're not drinking while you're driving down the road. They will straight up stop.
Yeah, that's fucked up. I could see that being a fucking pain in the ass, that's for sure.
And now they got cameras on them and shit, because back when they first came out, they didn't have cameras, so you could just have your homie come out and breathe in it. That way you could get home real quick.
Right.
But yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, but they will go off in the middle of the fucking driveway, like, you got this many seconds, 30 seconds or whatever it is, to pull this vehicle over and breathe into this machine to make sure you're good. Yeah. It's pretty fucked.
Yeah, that sounds fucked up. All right, well, we hope you guys liked this bonus episode, took some notes to avoid getting into a DUI situation, as we've been saying, just don't drink and drive.
Rule number one: just don't get wasted and drive your car.
Call an Uber, call a friend, call your grandpa, whatever. It's just not fucking.
Even if you're under 21, call your parents because they would rather come pick you up than see you get in some fucking trouble.
Exactly.
If it was one of my kids, dude, fucking they was like, Dad, I'm sorry. I'm fucking really drunk. I know I shouldn't be drinking. I'd be like, thank you for calling me instead of fucking...
Yeah, my insurance agent at State Farm, I'm giving him a plug, Jim Spockman. He's a great dude. I've had him for 20 plus years for lots of insurance. And when the kids turn 16, you have to go meet with him, with the kid, and he gives them the whole spiel about don't drink and drive. And then he gives them his card with his cell phone number on it, and he says, if you're somewhere and you need a ride, you could call me. If you don't want to call your mom or dad because you think they're going to be mad, call me and I'll come get you. I'm not bullshitting you. And I thought that was cool as shit, man.
No, that's badass,
he's a good dude, but I mean, he meant it. And I thought that was pretty unique. So wanted to give him some love there. He's a good dude there, Bloomington, Illinois. All right.
Did you guys, when you guys were fucking in high school, I know they did this when I was in Matt too, and I don't know if they do it now, but where they set up the fucking accident scene whenever you're going through driver's ed and shit, and they set up a scene outside the school with a person dead from drinking and driving. Yep. Yeah, and man, that shit had an impact on my mind.
We watched a video, I remember. We watched a video about it and showed different things to make, scare the shit out of you.
Yeah, no, they bring straight up wrecked cars and have people in fucking makeup and shit laying there like they're hanging out the window dead and shit. Wow. That shit was tough.
See, I didn't have to take driver's ed. I just took the test.
Oh, so you don't even got a fucking license.
I did. But I needed it to go to see Iron Maiden in 1983. So that was my
there you go.
I had to get it. I bought the tickets but no license. The tickets, my birthday was 3 weeks before the concert, so I got passed the test. I was stoked because we were going to see fucking Maiden, man. It was badass. All right, well, thank you guys for listening out there, and we appreciate you guys for, supporting what we do. Go to murdermetalmayhem.com. I mentioned that. We're on Facebook under Horns High Studios. You can follow us on Twitter, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Got that 666 Club, the Patreon. I'll link to that in the episode description. So thanks a lot, guys, and we'll see you next time. And fucking horns high, man.
Mother, man.